Hi everyone, I'm teacher Cheryl, and in this video we are going to continue talking about inferential questions. Now, in my previous videos, I've already talked about direct inferential questions, and I have also covered the very first type of vocab inferential questions. Now today, in this video, we are going to look at the second type of vocab inferential questions. So as usual, we are going to review the 3 steps that we will need to use when answering inferential questions. So step 1 is where we have to identify the keywords or ideas in the question itself, and in step 2, we have to understand the context and gather relevant clues. And in step 3, we have to craft our answer. Now, if you'd like a more detailed explanation of these 3 steps, do watch my very first video on inferential questions, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. So let's take a look at the second type of vocab inferential questions. These are questions where they usually ask about the internal life of the writer or the character. What I mean by internal life is, well, the thoughts, the feelings, or the motivations of the character or the writer. So basically, you kind of need to get into the head of the writer or the character, and you would be asking yourself, what would this person or character think about that particular thing, whatever thing it is all about. So let's take a look at this example. That second night, he set to work to carry out a new plan that had come to him. He still had enough wood to extend the fire into a large circle, which he then crouched inside, his sleeping suit under him to protect him from the melting snow. When he had disappeared into his shelter of flame, the whole pack came curiously to the rim of the fire to see what had become of him. Then they settled down to enjoy the unaccustomed warmth. What did he hope would happen because he had a shelter of flame? So this is taken from the 2017 O-level paper. As usual, we are going to start with step 1, which is where we identify the keywords or ideas in the question. This is the question, what are the keywords we need to identify? The first one would be the word he. Why? Because we kind of need to know what we are referring to. We are referring to the character and not the wolves. So we cannot talk about, what the wolves were hoping or the pack of wolves were hoping, but we need to focus on what the character was hoping. And the second keywords I would highlight are hope would happen. Now, why I want to highlight this is because I need to understand what the character was expecting. Because when you hope for something, means you are expecting something, right? So that's why these are important keywords in this question. Now, the third thing I would highlight is shelter of flame. So this shelter of flame actually tells us something, right? Flame actually refers to fire, and shelter is some kind of protection. So he's using this fire as a kind of protection in that sense. Okay, so now that we've identified the keywords, let's go on to step 2. So in step 2, as I said, we need to gather relevant clues. In this paragraph, the first thing that I have highlighted is wood to extend the fire into a large circle. Now, why is that a clue? Is because this tells us that he used the fire to protect himself, like I said before. And because of this, the wolves would not want to cross over the fire. They would probably be a little bit afraid of the fire, isn't it? Because they don't want to get hurt or, burnt. Now, the next clue that I would highlight is disappeared into his shelter of flame. So this actually tells us that he used the fire to hide from the wolves. So in a way, the flames actually kind of protect him and block the view of the wolves. So the wolves cannot actually see him very clearly. And finally, I would highlight to see what had become of him. So again, this tells us that the wolves couldn't actually see him, and so they went closer in order to get a better look at him. He was kind of successful in using the fire to protect himself and to hide from the wolves as well. Okay, so let's go on to step 3. So step 3 is where we have to craft our answer. So this is the question, and as usual, we need to kind of consolidate everything that we have gathered. So first of all, we know that he extended the fire into a large circle. He did this to protect himself. He used the fire to hide from the wolves, and the wolves had to go and take a closer look because they couldn't see him. So all these clues actually tells us what he hoped to actually accomplish with this shelter of flame. Before I can craft my answer, as usual, I'm going to identify some words that I can rephrase from the question in my final answer. And I have highlighted he hoped because, yeah, I can actually use that in my answer. So my final answer would be something like this. He hoped that the wolves, not being able to see him clearly due to the flames blocking their view as well as keeping them from crossing over, would give up and leave. So this is what he was hoping for. Okay, did you manage to get a similar answer to this? Well, as I said, don't give up, keep trying, just keep applying the 3 steps to any inferential questions, and you will find that it gets easier and easier the more you practice. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any suggestions on any other types of videos that you would like to watch, please let me know in the comments box below. So that's it for this video. Thank you and bye!